Did you know about Gustave Eiffel, that remarkable French engineer? Back in the late 1800s, he came up with this brilliant idea to build the Eiffel Tower. This tower was meant to be the star of the 1889 Exposition. For those who do not know, it was a huge global event celebrating 100 years since the French Revolution. Eiffel was a real pro when it came to iron structures and bridges, and he put that expertise to work in designing the tower. What's really cool is that he used iron in a totally innovative way, creating this massive structure that showed off just how advanced engineering had become. I mean, it's seriously something else. With its one-of-a-kind lattice structure and towering height, people were totally amazed and puzzled at the same time. Back in the day, when they first revealed the design for the Eiffel Tower, it wasn't exactly a unanimous cheer. People had gotten used to the usual architectural styles, so this tower with its iron lattice look was a bit out there for them. Some folks were straight up curious, while others were kind of skeptical. You wouldn't believe it, but some critics even went as far as calling it a beastly creation or a massive black chimney. They were worried about how it would mess with the city's look. Eiffel had to deal with a lot of doubt, but he didn't back down when people questioned his design. He actually had to stand up for the tower, saying it was all about showing off how far science had come and how proud the nation was. He said that the tower's one-of-a-kind look was like a high five to top-notch engineering and showed off how cool iron could be in building stuff. But folks who didn't quite vibe with the Eiffel Tower's design were mostly worried about how it would fit at the elegant look of Paris. The city was all about those old-timey buildings and fancy designs, and suddenly this tower with its industrial style showed up, causing quite the clash. Some folks were even afraid that the whole city's vibe would get messed up. Gustave Eiffel shook things up by using iron and school engineering tricks, going against the norm of what was considered beautiful in buildings. Some of the critics thought it was missing the usual fancy touches and decorations that big structures had. But oh boy, the talk about this tower went beyond just looks. It turned into a real intellectual discussion among the bookish and artsy crowds. Writers and artists were all caught up in the debate about whether modern engineering and all this industrial stuff was a good thing. As time went on, the tower started coming together. People's thoughts started shifting. When they saw the tower getting built and saw just how massive and detailed it was, some of those who were on the fence started thinking again. People who checked it out during the exposition were just blown away by the tower's incredible engineering and the jaw-dropping panoramic views you could catch from way up high. People became so hooked that they made it a permanent part of the city's skyline. Yes, here's the twist. At first, the Eiffel Tower was supposed to be a short-term showstopper just for the exposition. But things changed as more and more people got hooked. Parisans and folks from all over the place couldn't resist checking out its imposing looks. And get this, as time went on, the tower pulled off some pretty neat tricks. It became a hub for radio signals and even a weather watching spot. That's when it went from being a quick thrill to a forever part of city's view. Speaking of radio signals, do you know Eiffel Tower helped France in its war effort during World War I? You heard that right. When World War I rolled around, the Eiffel Tower went from being just a landmark to a legit hero. It became super important for the French. They used it for catching enemy radio signals. The tower's crazy height meant the radio experts could tune into all sorts of different frequencies. This meant they could eavesdrop on loads of different radio talk. By snooping and making sense of the enemy's chatter, the tower's crew helped the French military get wins and showed just how important the tower's role in national security was. With this inside scoop, French commanders could see enemy moves coming, manage their resources smarter, and get their defense game on point. It also became a top-notch lookout spot. Being the tallest thing people had ever built back then was a major plus. Its crazy height let French soldiers keep an eye on what the enemy was up to, and share important info with their soldiers. It helped French troops stay one step ahead. They turned the top parts of the tower into lookout spots, letting French soldiers keep tabs on what the other side was doing in the city and beyond. The super high view helped them spot enemy moves early and was a big deal in making sure the defense plans all clicked into place. You gotta hand it to the Eiffel Tower. It totally rocked as a communication hub during wartime. It's proof that this iconic landmark isn't just about looking pretty. It's got a whole backstory of being way more useful than you'd think. This newfound role transformed public perception, leading to a broader appreciation of the tower's importance beyond its architectural appeal. Following the war, the Eiffel Tower continued to evolve as a communication hub. It played a pioneering role in radio broadcasting, transmitting news and entertainment to a wide audience. By hosting radio antennas, the tower facilitated communication across the city and beyond. But let me tell you something more thrilling and captivating. The Eiffel Tower scam. Or should I say, a story of a person who sold the Eiffel Tower. Yes, you heard me right. This scam was orchestrated by a cunning Victor Lustig. It is a captivating tale of deception, ambition, and the disappearing act of a master con artist. Picture this: Paris in the 1920s, and the majestic Eiffel Tower, which is now 3 decades old, aging, and in need of costly maintenance. Victor Lustig saw an opportunity. He posed as Captain Henry, a high-ranking government official, and seizes the moment, capitalizing on whispers of the tower's costly upkeep. He assumes the role of Captain Henry, a high-ranking government official with an air of authority and sophistication. People believed a government official couldn't be up to anything shady, especially concerning such a national treasure. He weaves a tale of government secrets and the tower's impending sale to exploit public concern over its maintenance cost. But remember, Captain Henry is entirely fictitious. There is no such official. His targets were carefully chosen: scrap metal dealers, businessmen, those with dreams of grandeur. He understood the psychology of ambition, and he needed individuals who would be swayed by the promise of seizing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He invited these people at a secret meeting in a luxurious Parisian hotel. He spun a tale of government secrets and the impending sale of the Eiffel Tower. His pitch was a masterclass in persuasion. His targets were hooked, believing they were the chosen bidders. But sealing the deal required finesse. Among his victims was André Poussin, who eagerly offered a substantial bribe on top of the purchasing amount of the tower, and received seemingly authentic government documents, which were obviously not genuine. The transaction felt real, but it was all part of Lustig's grand illusion. As soon as the transaction was complete, Lustig vanished with the money, leaving his victims spellbound. However, Poussin, realizing he had been duped, chose not to involve the authorities, fearing embarrassment. Lustig had pulled off the ultimate disappearing act. Although he did come back to Paris after 6 months and again tried to sell the tower, but one of the dealers sensed the evil intention and reported him to the authorities. But as clever he was, he managed to leave France before being caught and went to US. This legendary con artist legacy lives on, reminding us of the power of deception and the allure of the extraordinary. If you enjoyed these facts about the Eiffel Tower, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more captivating stories, and don't miss out on our next video. Thanks for joining us today.